Hi guys, and welcome to another video. Today we have this radical equation right here. Pretty interesting one. We're going to solve for the values of x that will satisfy this equation without actually squaring each side of the equation. For most of you, I'm pretty sure this will be the first time of seeing this particular method, so I can't wait. Let's get right into it. In fact, the very first thing I'm gonna do is that I'll rewrite this equation in different form. Check this. We have square root of 25, but 25 is the same as 5 squared. So I'm going to put 5 squared for 25, then minus x squared, then plus we have square root of 144, which is also the same as 12 squared. So I'll put 12 squared here, then minus x squared, and this is obviously 13. Cool. Now the next step is that I will see this in the form of a right angle triangle. Check this. Let's say we have this right angle triangle here nicely like this. Cool. Now check this. Obviously, this is going to be the 90 degrees angle. And always when it comes to right angle triangles, the longest side facing the 90 degrees angle is the hypotenuse. Let's call it A. And then call this side B and this side C. And from Pythagoras' theorem, you can write a nice equation for this. The longest side, which is the hypotenuse squared, is going to be the sum of the squares of the other two sides, like this. Cool. Now, if we compare the right-hand side here to the terms under the square root, we can see that they are almost the same, just that we have minus and then plus right here. In fact, we can change this one to minus by making any of these the subject. Let's make C the subject so that we have C is equal to square root of a squared minus b squared. And if we compare the right hand side here to what we have right here, we can clearly see that 5 is our a, so I'll put a is equal to 5, and then b is now x right here. So I'll put b is equal to x. Let's go ahead and then draw a right angle triangle for this. So we have this nice right angle triangle here like that. And obviously, this is going to be the 90 degrees angle. And as we compare this one to this here, we saw that A, which is the hypotenuse, is now 5. Therefore, this side is going to be the hypotenuse, which is 5. And this side is now B, which is x right here. So I'll put this x there nicely like that. And everything here is actually this. And obviously, we can also determine this even if we don't know this, right? This is going to be, this side is going to be 5 squared minus x squared or square root, which is everything here. So I'll just put down that we have 5 squared minus x squared. We are done for this term right here. We are left with this one. Now for this, we have to also draw a right angle triangle for that, but don't worry, we can complete it right from this one. We have 12 here, which is the hypotenuse, obviously from here. A is going to be this. If you compare them, then x is also b. Cool. So the hypotenuse is going to be this side. Because it is 12, I'll extend it a little bit longer. Then to complete this, I'll have to extend this one to meet it nicely like that. And of course, this side is going to be 12. Then we are still considering a right angle triangle, so here will also be a 90 degrees. And this x is this one that we have here, the same thing. Now, how can we get the distance from here to here? That is obviously going to be the whole of this. So we are going to have square root of 12 squared minus x squared. We are almost done. Now let's call this point A, this point B, and then this point C. Now if we put triangle ABC into consideration, check this. We have this side to be 5, this is 12, and then this right here, the distance from B to C is actually the distance from here to here, then plus this point to this point. Let's call this point D, so that we have the distance from B to D is this, then plus the distance from D to C is also this. So if we add them up from the question, we are supposed to get 13, like that. And this time I can get rid of everything here so that I'll focus on the right angle triangle. Now, the cool thing about this is that if you square this and then you add to the square of this right here, that will be equal to the square of this 13. So these three numbers are Pythagoras triple. Pretty interesting one. So it means that the longer side, which is 13 here, will face the 90 degrees angle. So obviously here must be a 90 degrees, like that. Now, how can we find the value of x from this one? Don't forget that after everything, we are looking for the value of x. To get the value of x, we need to find the area of triangle ABC. And we know that area of a triangle is given by 1/2 times the base. This time, let's consider this side to be the base, which is 13. So we have 13, then times the height, which is now going to be length AD, which is x. So I'll put the x here nicely like that. And this will be equal to, of course, we can also consider AB to be the base and then AC to be the height. And if we do that, in fact, we are going to also have 1/2 times the base, which is 5, then times the height, which is now 12. And we have this equation. Obviously, we can find x. If we multiply each side of the equation by 2, we can see that this 1/2 and this one will leave the equation. Then we'll be left with 13 times x, which is 13x. And this is equal to 5 times 12, which is 60. We are looking for x, so we will divide each side of the equation by 13 so that this and that will go. And finally, we are going to have x is equal to 60 over 13. But don't forget that we are considering area. So maybe we have to put a unit here, units squared, like this. But don't forget that at the end of everything, we are looking for all values that will satisfy this equation, all real values, right? Now, we have x squared, meaning that being plus or minus this value here, they will all satisfy the equation. So finally, we will say that x is equal to plus or minus 60 divided by 13. And we are done. So guys, that is pretty much it. You see, we did not square each side of the equation, but we have been able to find all the answers that will satisfy this equation. So guys, that is pretty much it. I hope you found the video useful. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more, and see you again on the next video. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye-bye. Don't waste your time on me, sorry, I know what you expect. Can be your fantasy.